Hello everybody, my name is David. Thanks for joining me on this video. Today's video is called Open Up to Receive Your Life. It's so interesting how when we talk about are you receiving, it gets very confusing. See, we tend to put everything in the context of form. So are you receiving? It feels like you have to receive something physically. Maybe I have to put it in my hands or something like that. But that's not what I'm saying. Is I can receive this in my hands. I've received this. But how do I feel about it? Do I feel good about it, or do I feel like I don't like it? That's what receiving is. If you feel satisfied with it, if I feel good with it, then I can receive it. That's what it means to receive energetically and receive emotionally. If I say I don't like you and I'm not happy with it, then I'm not receiving. Does that make sense? So there is a receiving element to everything. Everything has a feeling of receiving. As a matter of fact, what else could we possibly be here if it's not to receive our life? Now, physically you can receive, but emotionally and energetically you can receive as well. The physical is always dependent upon the emotional and the energetic aspect of it. Remember, you are the creator of your life. The only thing that gets us kind of mixed up a little bit is this world of form and a world of feeling. And they seem to be in two different places. Or the world of form seems to be creating the world of feeling, which is never the case. So receive. What's receive feels like? Oh, I feel good. I enjoy this. I'm having fun with this. Can you feel the receiving? You are beautiful. That's a receiving. Oh, that's fun. That's exciting. That's a receiving. Ask yourself, how anxious are you walking around the world versus how excited you are walking around the world? Excited is receiving. Anxious is not receiving. Do you see? If we're happy and joyful, we're receiving. If we're upset and frustrated and angry, we're not receiving. And now this is a really important thing, because if we do not receive, then we cut off our life supply. That makes sense, right? Because the natural state is for us to give and extend out into the world by creating the world based on our feeling and our thoughts. Does that make sense? Our feeling and our thoughts create our life. And then we receive that feeling and thought as well through the form that we create in order to extend more. And that's that natural state. That's why it feels like it comes in, it goes back out. It comes in, it goes back out. It comes in, it goes back out. And we've created our whole world around this idea of circularity. And that's the way it works. So receive. How do we receive? Well, the heart receives. The mind doesn't always receive. Especially the brain is trying to figure things out. It's taking things and putting it next to the past and trying to compare it. That's one of the reasons why the videos are focused on trying to let go of the past, trying to see them in a different way. You know, the last video, that the past is not true. The past, the future, the present, it's meaningless. It doesn't have any meaning. Do you see? It is 100% without anything unless you put into it. Do you see? So therefore, everything is your truth. That's the whole point. It's your truth. It's not universal truth. Do you see? And that's what we have to understand. So one thing, just to piggyback real quick, that will help us with the receiving of the past is remember that the way the universe works is that it builds and flows. So that means that if something's not working in your life, or you find a problem, the universe will automatically find the solution to it. It's automatically built into the mechanism. So because of that, if something's not working in your life, or if you find yourself focused on something that feels like something's missing perhaps, just know the universe has already taken care of it, already worked it out, and now it wants to come in. The way we allow things in, there's that receiving, is by recognizing the past is complete. See, I've learned in my life the past is not incomplete. Another reason why we're seeing it wrong. It's never incomplete because it gives birth to more. Does that make sense? It gives birth. As Abraham Hicks says, we live the contrast of our life. It gives birth to more, and then more comes in. We don't get upset with the contrast, and we don't push against it. We allow it to be as it is. And then from that allowing, we give gratitude. So I've learned, give gratitude to my past, give gratitude to my life, give gratitude to every single thing, and then it will become more. Now, as we give gratitude to our past, we recognize it's not missing anything, that it has given birth to new ideas, new forms, new manifestations, new journeys, new lessons. You see? There's nothing missing. We've done nothing wrong. Something I started using a while back, and I recommend it, is this idea: I've done nothing wrong. Notice that mind activity. It's always trying to tell you you're doing something wrong. I've done nothing wrong. Feel that resistance release, that resistance. I've done nothing wrong. I'm innocent. I've done nothing wrong. That past, as we focus on it like there's something wrong, of course it feels like we did something wrong. But as we recognize the past is perfect, it's complete, and it's given birth to new ideas and new journeys and new experiences. So therefore I give gratitude. As you give gratitude to the past, your vibration will rise to meet what wants to come in. Does that make sense? It's a vibrational world. So we have to find a way to rise our vibration up in this moment in order to allow the rest of our life to flow in an easy way. Notice flowing in. Think about life as an emotion, as feeling. Abraham Hicks would say that everything you want is because it feels good. Forget the form for a second. If we pay attention too much to the form, remember the form is mostly coming from your past, and that therefore it has this built-in meaning the ego is given. So when you think about certain physical things, it already has meaning built in. Does that make sense? And that doesn't feel good. You think about a circumstance from your past that you feel it wasn't good. Now you get to feel it again over and over. That's not good. That brings your vibration down. You are the creator of your life now. The present moment doesn't have anything built in except right now. But from that present moment, the past, the present, the future are one. It's not separate. It's one. Your past has been forgiven, your future has been released, and your present moment is in receiving mode. Do you see that? Those three things merge together, and they have nothing to do with anyone else. Of course, they are part of the universal mind and the synchronicity for all, but from our each individual perspective, they have to do with us. So there's different layers to this. Now, the key here is to put your past, your present, your future in one place. That's what spirituality is about. It's about moving all three of those back into the present moment, because there's only one moment in time, and it's all got to be here. Do you understand? So the more that we forgive our past, the more we let it be, the more we move and we give gratitude to everything, and we recognize the past has given birth to new things, new ideas, new experiences. Now from the present moment, you can raise your vibration and all three vibrations will match. Does that make sense? Past, present, future. Those vibrations will match to the frequency of your source. And that's what needs to happen. Do you see? Or just from your present moment, you can recognize and move into the frequency of source. Absolutely. Through awareness, through love, through appreciation, through joy. And regardless of whatever wants to come in from that, not really future, but what's unfolding and what that broader perspective can see in that moment will flow in. But the broader perspective never looks at the past. It just forgives it and moves on, forgives it and moves on. It sees that it gives birth to more, it gives birth to more, it gives birth to more, therefore it's gone. Does that make sense? Now we won't superimpose it onto our life. And that causes tremendous resistance, because the more you look at form with built-in meaning, you can be sure it is coming from your ego. Otherwise, you would just give it meaning in the moment because you know you would receive it back. So that giving and receiving energy wants to turn back on. And the universal force, there's always something going out and always something coming back. It's not physical, although it is, but I recommend letting go of that and create an emotion, a feeling. If you look at something in a loving way, notice that it comes back to you in a loving way. If you look at things as fun, notice that you'll feel fun when you do it. Do you see? That's how you start this idea of creating your life. Because the more we understand that things out there are neutral, you give all the meaning to it. And what meaning you get, you receive back. That's the way it works. There is no meaning out there except what you give. Any meaning out in that world, and you say, well, this means and this means, that is your ego meaning. Therefore, you will see it as separate from yourself. And you will see it either in a past, a future, potentially present. You see, and it's separate. When you give meaning to something based on where you are, and then you release what wants to come in, and you feel good and you flow with source. That's the present moment. That's what we're looking for. Everything connecting together. Now, how do we do that? I recommend pay attention to what comes back. Pay attention to what comes back. It is the most important thing. Same thing I say in Tai Chi, the yin energy, not the yang. What's coming in? What's coming in? What's coming in? We have this idea. See, in Tai Chi, what we do is we watch what comes in to us from our opponent, from our forms, from our body, from our minds, and we allow it in, we allow it in, and we allow it in. As we allow it in, then what goes out and what comes in will match. And it literally feels like this. That's what it feels like in Tai Chi. That's why if you touch someone, they just pull you down, and someone who doesn't understand that is going to be blown away. Song energy, that relaxing energy, in order to receive. You grab your drink, receive your drink, relax your grip on it and feel it flow with it. That's receiving mode. Do you see, if someone's talking to you, receive what they're saying. Don't worry. Don't try to figure out what to say in order to join the conversation, in order to establish yourself within the conversation or to justify who you are. Listen and know that more is coming in, more is coming in, more is coming in. And perhaps they're the messenger that's going to bring it in for you. That idea of receive. When you breathe, receive that breath. Open yourself up to receive. Receiving is so powerful, and it's so hard to see sometimes because we're not even recognizing that we're not doing it. Allow your life. Allow the birds. Listen to the birds. Receive the birds. Look at the clouds. Receive the clouds. If something you don't like, if it's too hot outside, then move on to something you can receive. Don't push against it. Remember, the only thing that's really happened is our receiving mode is kind of turned off. It's congested based on fear, worry, and doubt, and based on the judgment of the world that we feel on a regular basis. That is essentially coming from us. we play both sides. But we don't see it because of projection, you see, because we tend to throw away what we don't like onto something else or someone else, and not recognize we're still attached to it. This is why you can't hate something without hating yourself. You can't look out at the world and see anything without seeing yourself in it. You are the creator of it, therefore it holds the creation. You're the source of it, therefore it holds you. Does that make sense? The more we can understand how the universal laws work, and we let go of these bogus ideas of what we think we can make, which is not possible. So this idea of just receive it all. If something's coming in you don't like, receive it. It's going to give you messages. It's going to teach you. It's going to help you, guide you, moving through the contrast in order to find what it is you want. Then notice how quickly we say, I don't like that. That's not receiving. How quickly we go into negative emotion. Negative emotion is just simply, I'm not receiving. I'm adding resistance because what I'm seeing, I don't agree with. But what you're seeing is coming from you. So receive it. As you receive what you don't like, you'll recognize what you're putting out. That's how it works. That's how the journey works. Receive all of it. Receive as much as you possibly can. If it doesn't feel good, stop and say, well, why can't I receive this? What is it that stopped me from receiving this? What must I believe that will tell me why I shouldn't receive this? And you'll find the beliefs that you're putting out and therefore receiving back. Everything is coming out and coming back to you. It's coming out of you, back to you. There is no assertion. There's no outside. There's no others' beliefs. There's only your beliefs. And this is, we have to take this by faith. What you're looking at is your own belief of yourself, your own belief of your life, your own belief of your source, your own belief of your brothers and sisters, not theirs. It feels like it's theirs. It's not. The more you take this time, I'm going to receive the good, I'm going to receive what I consider the bad and everything in between. And I'm going to see how it feels. And I'm going to look at it and ingest it and study it just a little bit and recognize if you can't receive it, if you're pushing against something, ask yourself, why? Why am I pushing against this? What must I believe that stops me from receiving this part of my life? We're not just single bodies walking around a world with a bunch of people. You're receiving your whole life from your source. Every piece, everything, all things are coming into you for you to experience your life. What is it that you're not allowing and why? Ask yourself. Be daring. Be courageous to ask yourself, why am I not receiving this? What is it in this person that I don't like? Because it must be in me. And then we can stop and say, I can forgive them. They're angry. I know what it's like to be angry. Man, they're they're stealing. Boy, I know what it's like to want to steal. It doesn't matter what you see them. They could be beating. They could be angry. They could be frustrated. And you see, they're reflecting back something in you that you have experienced or thought of or wanted to think of. Somewhere inside you, it's there. So the more you see yourself in them and say, I get it. You're reflecting this, and you're reflecting this, and you're reflecting this, and you're reflecting this. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that I'm a little fearful of that or worried about that. You meet someone who doesn't have any money, and all of a sudden you don't feel good. Why? They're reflecting back the possibility of you not having any money. Notice that. Forgive them. Let your reflections be innocent. That world out there is indeed innocent. It is a reflection of you always. And also you will see other souls in there that are a little lost. They're working their way through, but Source loves them, appreciates them. There's only rehabilitation in Source. There is no such thing as judgment. Lock them up, throw away the key. It's only rehabilitation, correction, getting better, learning more. Do you see? That's what forgiveness and that idea of innocence is. Receive it all. Receive it all. And by the way, take that 15, 20 minutes a day and receive your Source. Receive love. Receive the appreciation. Receive the joy. Receive the power and strength. Wake up in the morning and tell your body, I'm going to receive your strength and love, and I'm going to give you appreciation and love and flexibility and flow. And play these two energies, receiving energy and what you give. You're receiving energy and what you give. They are emotions. They're feelings. They're feelings. Play with your feelings. Notice what's coming in. How's it feel? Allow it. Play with it. See what happens. Open yourself and receive. Oh, life is going to change big time. Thanks so much, guys. And as always, it's up to you what you receive from this video. Hit the like button if it's calling you. Keep the comments going and make sure to subscribe.